What if you basically had this kind of fairy tale-like thing that was almost like this magic wand that you could wave and create your own reality? I know it's like super fairy tale and sounds a little bit insane, but once I started discovering that reality is created from subconscious programming, and then I started reprogramming myself because the subconscious mind can be changed through repetition, I started playing this game where I basically was able to challenge myself to go, is my subconscious mind really a genie that will give me anything I want if I reprogram it? And so instead of just telling you about it, like if you ever watch one of my videos, I always talk about my free success hypnosis. You could get it right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's in the description and pinned to the comments right there down below. But let me tell you why. Let me tell you a story about why I always talk about it, how I got into all this type of stuff. I dropped out of college when I was a freshman. I backpacked around the world. I wrote a book about it. No one would publish my book. So I had two choices. One was give up and then like go back to school or see if my school will let me come back, or then just like go to a community college and just kind of like give up. Which is what everyone was telling me to do, and all the publishing companies said no, so the outside world was telling me that. Option number two was to figure out how to make it happen no matter what. I went with option number two, and that was when I stumbled across a book by Dr. Joseph Murphy called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It was all about the power of the subconscious mind, how it works, and how to reprogram it. So I said to myself, with my first draft of my self-published, manuscript, could I hypnotize myself to be a happy, spiritual, international, multi-millionaire published author and speaker and all these things? Could I program myself to become a successful author that was getting book deals and getting paid by publishers, and I had this big career that I imagined, but the outside world told me wasn't possible? So I said, why don't I suspend my disbelief and give it a try? And that's all I ask you to do on my channel. I don't ask you to believe anything I tell you. Just check for yourself. Just suspend your disbelief the same way you would suspend your disbelief for a movie, and go into the experience and see what you can create. And so I started recording my own success hypnosises. And I went to a bunch of hypnotists, and I got hypnotized by a bunch of people, and they were all hypnotizing me to be successful and stuff like that. But then I realized that I could make them even better on my own. So if you want to use that, it's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. I give it away for free because you might get inspired from a YouTube video, you might get motivated by a YouTube video, but like Jim Rohn says, motivation is like hygiene. It doesn't last every day, and that's why I recommend you bathe daily. That's what Jim Rohn used to say. Now, what's the point of that? The point of that is we actually can not only motivate ourselves with a video, but then actually start reprogramming our own minds, and that's why I give away my success hypnosis for free. And so I was 20 years old, and I started playing this all the time. My wife can tell you, we spent 1 year when we were living at this one apartment in Los Angeles where we listened to it every night before we went to bed. She had to listen to it. Every single night. I played it all the time at this point. It turned into literally going all the time. In the shower, I played it. Because in the shower, you're spacing out, so you get direct access to the subconscious mind. So all the times when I'd be spacing out, that's when I would play it. When I'm stretching, when I'm lying on the couch stretching, instead of listening to music or something, I just started doing that to access it all the time. I started literally brainwashing myself. I was becoming my own MK Ultra experiment. And I was brainwashing myself because you're brainwashed no matter what. Some people go oh, well, are you gonna brainwash me if I use your success hypnosis? Well, everyone's brainwashing you and you're brainwashing yourself. I'm just offering you a way for you to brainwash yourself for success, to reprogram all the old crappy limiting beliefs, because we've inherited all this crap from the world. Psychologists tell us 95% of our life is subconscious. So I start doing this every day, all the time. I'm listening to it in the shower, I'm doing whatever, all the time. And then things just start happening in my life. And I remember one of the craziest stories of that was when I got on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. You might know who George Norrie is in Coast to Coast AM. It's that big, huge live talk radio, millions of listeners live. They talk about all types of metaphysical and government stuff and UFOs, and they have tons of people. And so the craziest way is I got onto that show because in the middle of the night, somebody was trying to go to sleep and they couldn't, so they hit on some noise and I popped up on an interview. They heard my name, they wrote it down, then they reached out to me and booked me for the show. Stuff like that started happening after I listened to the hypnosis. Stuff like wanting to be mentored and endorsed by Jack Canfield, the creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. All these things just start happening time and time and time and time again, over and over and over and over and over again. And it happened because I realized my mind was a computer program. I suspended my disbelief about it, and I said, well, what if I suggest new ideas into it? And then number 3, when I was faced with the fork in the road, and it says, just play it safe and go back to where you were. Like I said, I could have just, whatever, no one will publish this book. I'll just go back to school and go to a community college and try this when I retire when I'm 65. Like, which is what some people say, like, you don't make any money doing that stuff. You do it when you're retired. And so at the fork in the road, you have to pick courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's when you're afraid and you do something anyways. There's a million versions of yourself happening simultaneously. And what I'm asking you to do is take a deep breath and then take another one, just nice deep breath, and ask yourself, who do you really want to be? What do you really want? Not what do you think you can get? Because when you're answering that question, what do you think you can get? What do you think is possible? You're coming at it from the old paradigm. You're coming at it from the old conditioned thought pattern. It's not who you are. It's just a virus in the operating system. It's a fake identity you come to believe is you. So what I invite you to do is ask yourself, what would have to happen 1 year from now for you to look back and say it was your most successful and fulfilling year yet? And I encourage you to grab a pen and pad, write down your dream life, write it down. What do you want? If you really can create your own reality, if you really can program your subconscious mind to give you everything that you want and turn it into a magic lamp or a magic wand or a genie, like I said at the beginning of the video, what do you actually want to put into your subconscious? If your subconscious cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's not real, it can't. But if it can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not real, why don't you put into the things that aren't real yet, but you're gonna program your mind to believe them, such as that you're financially independent, you're successful at your career, you have an awesome romantic relationship, you're happy, you're inspired, you're healthy, you're exercising, you're enjoying the life that you're creating, you're living in your dream home, you live in your dream city, state, country, you're literally your dream life. Why not put it in there? And why not do a thought experiment to find out why and suspend your disbelief in the process? And that's been the journey that I've been on since I discovered this. It's why I'm so passionate about my success hypnosis, and it's why I'm so passionate about all these ideas. So I encourage you to pull out a pen and pad, write what you want in the present tense, download my free success hypnosis, and listen to it every day as you mentally rehearse this. So you write out what you want in the present tense, and then before your meditation, before your visualization, before your mental rehearsal, you read it out loud. So you go, in the present tense, because your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. In the present tense, you go, I am so happy and grateful now that. And then I would just write, and I would write about how my YouTube channel was successful, my books were translated into other languages, I was creating financial independence, inspiring people from all over the world. I just started writing stuff like that in the present tense, like what? Off the cusp, what's my dream reality? And I would read it out loud to myself. So I engage all my cells, I engage all the cells in my brain, I engage all the cells in my body, I vibrate at the frequency of it, and then I would turn on my success hypnosis, close my eyes, and mentally rehearse what I just read out loud. And I would practice feeling as if it already happened. So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you check out my free success hypnosis right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. Hit the like button on this video to send it out in the YouTube universe. Remember this. If you don't brainwash yourself, the world will brainwash you. And you can always say this, that's not part of my belief system. When somebody says you can't do it, when an old voice in your head starts to say, well, I'm not sure you're really capable of that, you just say, that's no longer part of my belief system. You are worthy of what you want. And the only reason you believe you aren't, and the only reason you don't have it, is just that old emotions, old ideas, old beliefs, old opinions, old behaviors, old traumas are buried into the subconscious and are controlling you like virus in an operating system. You don't have to go through every step and find it all to discover what it is. You just have to start using repetition and emotional impact to change it. So you mentally rehearse, you feel excited about this reality that you're creating, and you read it out loud to get emotionally involved in it. Thanks for watching this video. I know there's 10 million videos on YouTube that you could be watching right now, so I appreciate you watching this video all the way through. If you enjoy it, let me know in the comments right there down below if you'd like to see more of these, anything you think I missed that you'd like me to include in a future episode. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.